All right, good afternoon, everybody. It's 1 o'clock. If I could remind you to mute your computers or your phones. Um, I'm Becky Davis. I'm here in the Office of Special Ed Services here at the Department of Ed, and this may be a fairly short meeting today. We've got just a couple of things to talk with you about. This will be our last call for this school year. We will not have a call in July, but we'll pick up again in August on the first Wednesday. I wanted to take a minute before I turn things over to tell you how much I appreciate all the effort that you all have made this year. Um, you have been the glue that has held districts together. You've been the glue that has held your teachers, your staff, your parents, your students together. And as difficult as things have been up here, I can only imagine the difficulties you've faced. It's hard enough being a director of special ed in a district during a typical year, but during a pandemic is just about impossible. And you all have done a wonderful job doing the impossible, and I very much appreciate it. I am going to turn it over to Nicole just a moment to kind of set the stage.
Well, and she's going to turn it over to me, and I'm going to basically facilitate us through a list of folks that have different stuff to talk about. We had just enough stuff today that it would have been an overwhelming email, and it was worth coming together. We have quite a few things coming up. We're going to hear some stuff regarding CPI. We've been getting a lot of questions about CPI and where we're going with that. We'll get a little update there. And our SPP community forum, which I'm totally pumped about, and we need you guys to get a little bit of word out about that. We've got some data, some indicator updates that we're going to hear from some wonderful ladies. And then we also wanted to give you a little bit of our projected courses so that you can, as you're starting your planning for August, that you'll know kind of what we're working on so that you can use them as you see fit. So right now, if Becky, I believe you are driving, if you want to go to the next slide, I'm going to hand it over to Ricky, who then will hand it to Cheryl, and so on and so forth.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ricky McCormick. I'm one of the new people over at OSIS, so I've only had a chance to talk to a few of you. We want to collect some information on CPI. The Social Emotional Learning Focus Group has gotten several questions and emails over the past month about where we're going with CPI as a state department. And previous summer, we trained over 100 of you to be trainers. And so that's good for 2 years in that certification. So we really feel like we are in a good place to gather some data and find out how you guys are using CPI, how you envision CPI being used within current law, code, and your district policy, and where we can go and best support you. So what we need is information from you. We created a Microsoft form. The long address is there, and then we're also putting it in the chat for you right now that you can click and go take care of that for us. It'll take about 15 to 35 minutes to complete. And if you can have that to us by June 16th, we would really appreciate it, because then we're going to meet, gather some more input, and hopefully best support you in how CPI is being used. If you have any questions about the form or clarification on that, you can obviously ask any of us, but I will go ahead and put my email in the chat so you can ask us directly. And we're really thankful for you doing that for us. So wanting to keep it short, because it's a short, I'm going to turn it over to Cheryl.
Thank you, Ricky. Just trying to unmute here.
Well, and I apologize for the the back and forth. Nicole and I are fighting over who has control over the screen, and she has now won. It's hers.
And on to you, Cheryl.
Thank you, Nicole. Well, hi, everybody. I am Cheryl Fitz. I am your friendly family and community engagement liaison. So I wanted to take just a few minutes to share a very important upcoming event with you. OSIS is hosting an SPP APR virtual community forum. We will hear from various stakeholders on the importance of select indicators and proposed targets and goals from their viewpoint. So mark your calendars. The date for our forum is set for June 16th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. This will be a live session. So you will hear from two panels. The first includes educators at the state and district level, and among them is our very own Becky Davis, OSIS Director. We also have Angie Slatton, Lexridge 5 Director of Special Services, and the SCASA Special Education Roundtable Chair. Susan Howard is joining us. She is the South Carolina Public Charter School District Special Education and ESOL Director and bringing a charter school perspective. And we have Philando Tulloch, who serves as Calhoun County Schools Deputy Superintendent and Director of Special Education. Mr. Tulloch is bringing a rural school perspective. So not to be outdone, our community panel includes Dr. Jessica Berry, who is the South Carolina State University Speech Pathology and Audiology Department Chair, our own Amy Holbert, Family Connection South Carolina Chief Executive Officer. I'm sure many of you know Amy. She's going to be speaking on behalf of our parents. We have Agner Munoz Vasquez, the Pesos Midlands Program Coordinator, who will be sharing information or his thoughts from a Hispanic family's perspective. And we have Patrina Deese, with over 20 years of experience as a special educator, currently at Lexington School District 4, and a special guest, a student from Able, South Carolina, who will be sharing her insights and perspectives along with our other panelists on select SPP APR indicator targets and goals. So we are anticipating like this great conversation and ask that you become a part of that conversation by submitting questions to our panelists prior to the forum. You can do that by following the link here on this slide. And if you have not done so already, please go to the OSIS SPP APR webpage to view the presentations outlining the proposed indicator targets and supports for our LEAs and complete the surveys. We really want your input. The SPP APR indicator targets and goals link shown here on the slide will take you to that webpage. All of you will be receiving a link inviting you to the forum, so be on the lookout for that. And if you are unable to attend on that Wednesday morning, June 16th at 10 a.m., a recording will be available at a later date. However, as I said before, you can still be a part of the conversation. So please send in your questions. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. And Cheryl, I will ask if you or Shannon can also put that in that link to the questions in the chat as well. That would be great. We are very excited about this. If any of you went to the Department of Justice Brown versus Boards of Education anniversary panel, we are kind of doing it in a very similar style. It's going to be very exciting. Now I have Andrea Cannon up next to talk about some stuff that she has sent out to you guys and give you a couple of little reminders.
Hello, everyone. I hope my head is not too big. My team lead, Kellen, said my head was very big, so I hope it's not too big to distract you from what I'm getting ready to say. But hello, everyone. Andrea Cannon, I work on the data team. And just want to remind you that the Indicator 8 parent survey postcards have been mailed out. We did mail those out on behalf of the agency, but as a district, you may get calls. You should not get calls. Our telephone number is there. We want to add and let you know that this year we added a link in Spanish. So that should hopefully help improve our response rate as well. So that survey is due back July 30th of 2021. And as a district, if you would like a flyer to share, I think I shared that out previously in an email. I'll be more than happy to share that with you, just as a reminder to your parents to respond to the survey. And I also put the link to the survey in the chat, so you'll be familiar with this 6-question survey.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Andrea. I am going to do a quick chat check. Jill, is there anything in the chat we need to address? I can't see the chat pod while I present.
Nope, not at this point.
All right, beautiful. Thank you. So the next person I'm going to hand it off to is Yolanda to talk about indicator 14.
I'm muted. Good afternoon. I'm Yolanda Singletary, and I will be your Indicator 14 contact person. It was brought to our attention that the beginning of the survey was slightly different from the questionnaire that we sent out. So we wanted to provide some clarification on the start of the survey. When it comes up, it states that you are to complete some logistics on the form, such as the name, date of birth, and high school. We already have that information, so you do not necessarily have to collect it unless you would like to have that for your purposes. And for the second part of that, it states who is completing the form. And this you would select the district because you would be completing it. And this is for the opt-in districts as this information. You will add the survey ID, and this will be the same information that is keyed in at the start of the survey. And it's also was given to you in a spreadsheet that was sent to you on last Friday for your opt-in district contacts. Then you will identify who is responding to the interview questions, and for this is located under the exclusion, and you will select the district because you will be completing the survey. And if you could go to the next slide. Oh, and that's it. I think after that, the questions will start in order of the 10 to 12 questions for the indicator survey. I thought there was a different, each district will have the opportunity to reach out to the students or parents 3 times. And in the first part of it, if it's the first time you want to, hold on just a moment, let me pull up some information here.
And I'm sorry, you guys, that would have been me that missed out on that. I apologize, Yolanda.
No problem. I'm pull up my thing where I emailed you. I had it right here. When you're completing the questions, when you get down to the exclusions, there are 2 on there. The first one is you will answer no if it's your first 2 times going through the survey. And the reason, if it's your 3rd time, then you will select that that first block, that first button, and that will conclude the survey. And if the student is deceased, you will select that button, and that will also conclude the survey. And if you are going through it for the first time and you pick non-applicable, that will allow you to go through to the next steps where it would say, would this participant like to participate in the survey? You will select yes or no. If you select yes, then you will ask if it's a parent or guardian, and it will take you to the questions. However, if you select no, that they do not want to participate, that will conclude the survey as well. And if you have any questions while you're going through, I can help you out. Just give me a call.
Excellent. And Yolanda, I will update that with another slide before we send this out. So you guys all have that updated in the presentation that we send out. So the rest of those directions will be in there as well. And then finally, Shannon Jones has a little bit of an update from our LMS team and the courses that they have coming up.
Good afternoon. This is Shannon, I've been getting a lot of questions lately from districts and on the cohort calls regarding training, since we weren't able to offer research and practice. And we would just like everyone to know that we are rolling out our new LMS, our learning management system. We'll be rolling out our first round of courses in early August. The first round of courses are primarily focused on the indicators and those compliance issues. And as we grow more and are able to offer more courses, we'll be able to move towards some more universal support topics. Just want to let you know that the courses will be self-paced and self-facilitated. That way, you'll be able to work at your own pace, and you won't have to worry about, a time limit or anything like that. But no one will actually facilitate those first round of courses, so they'll be a little more flexible. And also, just be on the lookout as they roll out in early August. The link to the LMS will be posted on the OSIS main site as well as the Department of Ed main site. So just look forward to those courses coming up soon.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And I wanted to just open the floor and give anybody an opportunity to ask any questions that they would like. And then also for those of you, we will be sending out finalized determinations and SOTA letters. Do know that those LEA determinations will not be posted online this year. So they will not be online. So it is something that is going only to your district, but do know that we'll have them finalized and coming out to you before the end of this month. The other thing that will be coming, we are not having an LEA meeting in July. So enjoy your summer, use your summer, but we will have quite a few updates that will be coming through. And we wanted you to know that the root cause analysis is underway and will be finished and posted very soon. We are doing last minute checks to make sure everything is grammar, all the grammar, the editing, think of the pretty stuff. So I see a question here from Brian. Can we expect any supplemental funding this spring? And then one, before I hand that off to somebody to answer, we'll send out the link to the LMS courses. Yep, you will absolutely get those courses when they're ready to go, Monica. For the supplemental funding this spring, I will hand it to either Becky or Michelle.
So, Brian, OSEP is still saying that we should get the ARP funding amount and allocations July 1. We will have to issue a separate GAN for those. Michelle, are you on the call? Because we have another finance question.
I am.
So the other question has to do with has the grant application process started for the new year?
It will be starting this week. So district should be receiving their terms, conditions, and assurances document, as well as there are a few other documents, the MOE compliance and excess cost compliance statements as well. And then we'll roll out the second part of the application later in July.
And as far as any other supplemental funding at this point, we're kind of waiting to see where or what the ARP funds look like and any additional information. We are, it seems like there is a webinar about how to spend those funds every other day. From vendors, of course. We are getting a little bit of information from the feds, but right now are being told that all of the same requirements will apply to the ARP funding, and that there will be no waivers for extension of expenditures for those funds or anything else like that. I think approximate allocations, Michelle, didn't we have an approximate allocations? Weren't they sent out soon? I mean,
they will be sent out soon. They
okay,
have not
yes.
been sent out. Yes.
Funds for ESY, we extended that timeline for you to submit your numbers for ESY. And Carolyn, if you're on the call and remember that date, because June 30. Because so many districts had extended their school year, not to be confused with extended school years, services. we allowed additional time for you to send those numbers in. And as soon as we get those numbers, we will try to very quickly turn around and get those funds out to you.
All right, I'm going to leave a couple of minutes here, a little bit of wait time for any additional questions. But like I said, it was just enough that it was too long for an email. And we figured we could use 20 minutes of your guys' time and gift you back another 40. So if nobody has anything, you guys are free to go. But we will wait a couple of minutes, hang out, and make sure that there are no other questions. All right, all of my OSIS folks, it looks like you can go as well. Everybody have a wonderful afternoon, and I look forward to talking to y'all later.
Have a good one, everybody.